Hey guys, Allie here tonight. I wanted to bring up just a quick topic, and this is something that's really helpful, and I find it helpful in my life, on when you're making decisions. Now, decisions can be big or small, it doesn't matter, but of course we always want to be inhabiting the identity that we want to create in our external reality. But when we're making decisions, a lot of times, and especially if it's a larger decision, as in, whether we are choosing to move, whether we want to get in a relationship or leave one, make a job or career change, sometimes those can be a little bit more difficult because we have a lot of thoughts about that. But the key is we really want to get clear on the thoughts that we're thinking and what perspective we're taking when we're making decisions. It's especially, like I said, big ones, because it's always in our highest alignment to go with what makes us feel best and open and expansive. So we want to do our best to follow that guidance that our body and our spirit is giving us. So when you have a decision to make, everything basically comes down to being love-based or fear-based. And we have the choice, in our 3D reality to choose whatever we experience. So, we can choose to identify with either love, which is our truth, and that's why it feels so good and aligned and connected, or fear, which is not true. That is not our truth, which feels separate, which feels fear-based, stressful, contracting. So when you have a decision to make, this is what I do a lot of times, guys. And sometimes I have to do it for a while. I have to keep coming back to it, especially if it's something major. If I have a decision to make and I want to get clear, but I have a lot of thoughts coming up. I have thoughts about, oh, well, you should do this and you should do that. Oh, but I want to do this and I want to do that. And I am having a problem because I'm trying to fight between, rational and what's the smart move and, guidance and, security and all this other stuff. Well, you can see right there that you can tell that some of those are based in, love, and others are in fear. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't watch out for things, and look for things that have security and keep you safe. But if you're being guided from a love-based perspective and you're residing in love, you are going to be secure and you are going to be safe. Even if the ego fear-based perspective cannot see that, you will be safe if that's where you're guided to go. So I get quiet. And the main thing for me is my mind, probably not unlike a lot of people's, will ruminate and try to come up with an answer, but it can't. It just keeps going around and around, comparing and contrasting the situation, trying to figure out what's the best decision to make. So I will get quiet, and I will really let my mind calm down, and let the thoughts just kind of fade away. Because that's the thing, is when the thoughts are going crazy, it's very hard to feel into things because you have different thoughts happening all at the same time, some in the background, some in the foreground, and it's hard to distinguish what's coming through. So I get quiet and I calm my mind and I think about the decision and I think about the different paths that it would lead me down. And as I think about them and I'm in that relaxed, calm state with a calm mind, I imagine taking action and moving forward on each of the paths. And usually it's between two things, but it can be between more than that. And I'll imagine going down one path and I will feel into that, guys, and just imagining it. And when I do that, if I notice that I'm feeling expansive and connected and at peace, and there's, sometimes there's joy, sometimes it's a harder decision, and maybe there isn't joy. But the overwhelming thing is a expansive sense, something that feels opening to you, and it brings you a feeling of peace and calm. That is guidance, letting you know that that is aligned with love and trust and faith. And that's a good path for you, because when you go down one of these paths, you want to do your best to go down to the one that's aligned with your truth, because when you do that, you're going to keep creating and going down, and that path is going to be unfolding, and it's aligned with your truth. So you're going to have things aligned with love and truth and peace and what brings you joy opening up to you on that path. And if you imagined the other path and you felt into it and you felt fear, you felt, contracted, you felt separate. The main thing I notice is that my body, when it's not aligned with its truth, feels like it's sinking and caving in on itself, and that's when I know I'm not aligned with the truth. I'm aligned with a fear-based perspective, and that's not my truth. That's just fear, and that's an illusion. So then I would know this is not the path based on my truth. This is based in fear. So I would choose the one, and it might take some courage, guys, because sometimes it can be scary. Just because it's aligned in love and your truth doesn't mean it's just going to be, joyous and not scary and easy to do. It can still be hard to do. But when you follow that path, that's the path of your truth. And that's where the things that you want to experience and desire are all going to unfold for you. So I hope that's helpful, guys. I know it can be a little bit difficult, especially when our mind really gets going about what it feels is best for us, and we get all caught up in our head. And that's why it's so, so important to just take time and let our mind relax and let those thoughts fall away, and then feel into the decision so we can feel what our body, our spirit is trying to tell us without all those thoughts coming in to interfere. And that's a really great way to make decisions. And like I said, a lot of times we might not even be able to see the path. We just have to go on faith that this feeling that I have and this peace and this, this peace and this calm that I feel is telling me that this path is going to be okay. And we have to just make a move and step onto that path. And as we do that, things will unfold, but we can't always see them. So it's just always know, guys, it takes trust and it takes faith. But when you act from an aligned, love-based perspective, you're always going to be supported no matter what. So, okay, guys. Well, I will be on tomorrow night, I think. It is New Year's Eve. I'll check in. I'm not sure about that yet, but I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's Eve if I don't see you, and I'll be on the day after that. Feel free to like and subscribe if that feels right for you, and I will see you guys tomorrow or the next day. Okay, bye guys.